Woo! What do you know, Juan? Another Monday.
I know. I'm still reeling from all the excitement from last week, Ryan. I don't even know what to do with myself, but
Are you talking about Morgan Wallen dropping 36 songs?
Yeah, I think I'm like through the first 12, and luckily there's some repeats in there. But it's way too many songs, man. An album does not need 36, but whatever. That's besides the point.
I guess you could have been talking about last week's March of the Madness too.
I mean, that is what we got hired to do. I mean, technically we're volunteering by doing this, so we're not getting paid. So I don't really know if we got hired to do this. No one really asked for us to come back either, if you really think about it. But
I don't know. I think a news channel should hire us up. We make everybody's Mondays better.
Only for Mondays.
The Monday show. Oh, God. Where they talk about absolutely nothing and everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And most importantly, they may or may not be factually correct or incorrect.
Yeah, just don't ask Juan, the mascot of a school. Be good to go.
I do need your help with that bingo square, though. We'll get to that later. Let's say.
Let's recap some of last week's matches, shall we?
Perfect.
First off, we have to start with Arizona State. Easily one of our best matches of the first round, and actually, because of our one wild card rule, neither of these teams got eliminated. But Arizona did get the best of Arizona State at the end. Arizona's, I believe they've been in it a little bit before, but this is easily their best showing so far. And it remains to be seen whether that was just their hatred for the Sun Devils or if they're here to stay. So great first round. Arizona State will actually go across the bracket as the highest scoring losing team in the first round. Remember, there's one wild card for each of the rounds up until the Elite Eight. They actually will move across the bracket, and it doesn't get much easier. It doesn't get much easier for them either, as they're going to have to face off against second seed Michigan State Spartans. So it remains to be seen. We'll get to our round of 32 analysis, but absolutely a great rivalry matchup. Those are the matchups you dream of. So congrats to Arizona for beating their rivals and moving on to face Arkansas in the next round. So,
absolutely.
Juan, what are some of the 64 matchups stood out to you?
Yeah, I think Indiana State and Evansville had a great matchup, a little rivalry in Indiana, let's say. Indiana State, though, squeaking by with an early victory, I think. But all in all, great showing from Evansville. You really can't ask for anything more out of these guys. I mean, they just big-time Zeal winners. I mean, they did everything, but Indiana State just coming in hot. I don't know.
Evansville asked for that matchup, and they did not disappoint. They definitely showed up. Just came up a little short by $5 to be exact. So great showing by Evansville, and we look forward to seeing them next year. Another matchup I wanted to talk about was that Miami and Florida State game. Both of them had some slow starts to the day, for sure. It was 0-0 going into the evening slate, but both of them kind of rallied their troops, and it became a really close matchup. I mean, Miami prevailed after their, I believe, Sweet 16 or Elite Eight run last year. They followed it up with a higher seed this year and hit a little bit of a target on their back with Florida State. But Miami snuck it out. So, and that's going to be a very fun round of 32 matchup with them in Penn State.
Another great one, Central Michigan against Evanston Alpha. Again, Evanston Alpha being the first staffer team ever created for the M2M tournament. It really came down to the wire, though, Ryan. Some may say, depending how ahead your clocks may have been in your living room, Evanston Alpha won. But according to the clock on the official M2M website, Central Michigan just snuck by. So
you're never gonna fix that clock in your house, are you?
No, it's solidly 2.5 minutes ahead, but I think it's slowly rolling into 5 minutes ahead now.
Well, at least it's still right twice a day.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that works that way.
That is not how that works, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. What other exciting matchups do you have for us, Ryan?
Well, I don't know why I'm bringing this one up. These are your boys, North Dakota State. They proved me wrong. They pulled out a close one over Florida Southern, who's been one of our past Cinderellas. Very close matchup. North Dakota State pulled it out by $2. Now we get our annual North Dakota State matchup in the round of 32. That's going to be exciting. Let's see if North Dakota State puts up a fight again.
I mean, North Dakota always proves that it's the best Dakota, I guess, in the M2M matchups. So, I mean, it's a great one. Another one that I want to talk about, though, is the little guy, DePaul University, going up against Oklahoma. I mean, I think
Indiana.
We got to say, or Indiana. Sorry, good point. I'm looking at the wrong bracket. But up against Indiana, they did one hell of a game. I mean, they went the distance with Indiana. I don't think anyone thought that they would go that far with them and kept it close all day long. So, yeah. Can't ask for anything more than a 16 seed. It's probably one of the best performing 16 seeded teams that we've had in the past 5 years, Ryan.
Well, they were probably underseeded, but yeah. Thanks for coming out to Paul. We'll look forward to seeing you again next year. One more team I wanted to focus on here in this round of 64. Really two. Two of my Cinderellas. One was Texas Row, and like Captain Insano, they showed no mercy. Quick and easy, one gift, and then that one was over. They moved over rival Texas Tech. I got too cute with my picks, and Mississippi let me down. I mean, absolutely no show. Don't know if they even got off the bus, really.
Yeah. I think it's finally time for another Ryan is wrong again.
If you had to take a bus to this game, they weren't on it. They were nowhere to be found. And, yeah, they let me down big time. So, well, without further ado, it is a Monday, and what kind of Monday would it be without a surprise? We do have one surprise for you here today to join us for the round of 32 breakdown and picks. Past March to the Madness 1 year.
Okay, do it a little faster. I'm drumming for a really long time here.
Cody Del Mendo.
Woo!
What's up, guys?
Welcome back, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan asked me to do this last week. I couldn't because of work obligations. And then I told him I would do it this week. And then I completely forgot about it until Ryan texted me like 5 minutes ago. So, as long as you remind me, I'll be there.
We love it. Total dedication, guys. He's seeing this bracket for the first time live, so his picks are genuine, and there's been no forward thinking into it. So,
definitely a lot more thinking than mine usually have. So,
let's go to let's start with Devotee in the Oklahoma region.
Wow, this is based off history. I think I have to go Oklahoma there with the 1 seed. They in my time of watching this tournament, they go far, they go deep every year. So I'll take Oklahoma. Then when I worked at Evanston Alpha, I wrote a story about a guy at Miami. So I'm going to take Miami against Penn State. And then give me Bowling Green because I'm all about action. And how about Northern Iowa because I don't know where Mount Union is. That's where I'm at.
Wow, they're in Ohio.
Oh, well, I was today years old when I learned that they were in Ohio.
Love teaching people new things. Oklahoma, Kansas. I mean, like I said, Kansas a little surprising with a win over rival Kansas State last round. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they put up a fighting here against Oklahoma. Some people may be looking ahead to that Texas Row and Oklahoma Sweet 16 matchup. And certainly some might say Texas Row already is looking forward to it. That may be top of their list is beating Oklahoma. But Oklahoma can't look past Kansas. Kansas definitely has the firepower if they're engaged and interested. They have the firepower to compete against Oklahoma and maybe make that Sweet 16 matchup a little more difficult on them. So Kansas, obviously a big name school, not used to seeing something like that as an 8 seed. So you really just don't know what's going to happen. Bowling Green and Texas Row, just don't. Nobody's stopping Texas Row here. Bowling Green, great matchup in the first round though. Pulled off a little bit of an upset, and they've been an impressive team the last 2 years. So, but that one truly is David versus Goliath. Penn State Miami is probably the one of the most exciting matches in this first round. Penn State pulled it out in the end. Both of these teams had pretty close matches in the first round, but this is Juan sleeper. Penn State. I don't know what to expect out of that one. Both teams can really name the score there. Mount Union and Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa continues just being very lethal. With the run last year and getting the 2 seed this year. Mount Union's no pushover as a 10 seed though. They're very dedicated. Have a team captain in place, and that's always been a traditionally very good chapter and alumni base. So I'm excited about these 4 matches. What do you think, Juan?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to come down to an Oklahoma-Texas Row matchup. I'm really looking forward to that. Like I said last time, though, Texas Row, I think, is going to be able to pull one ahead of the recurring champions, Oklahoma. But my heart this year, definitely in the Devoted region, is with Penn State, home of the Fighting Tom Chaffees. I don't think that any group is going to be as well organized as Penn State is right now. And they're really looking for a championship ring right now. I don't even know. Do we do championship rings, Ryan?
Just the trophy.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a trophy.
So
we should think about those rings.
You're sticking with your Penn State, Northern Iowa Sweet 16 matchup there?
Oh, yeah. You know it. And then it's going to come down Penn State, Texas Row. Penn State winning the division. Calling it. It's happening. Nobody saw it coming.
Didn't know that you don't have to update your picks for the whole thing. We were just talking around a 32. Let's
just go to the next region. We're going to Kerr.
All right, Juan, take us away.
All right. So Idaho, of course, pulling ahead of South Dakota State. I don't think that was a surprise for anyone. New Mexico coming over New Mexico State. Great matchup there. Arkansas and Arizona are going to be going at it. Of course, Arizona State losing, but becoming the wild card in the, what is that, Cockrell, or is that Foster? In the Foster region. Central Michigan, of course, advancing against Youngstown State. North Dakota State versus North Dakota. I think that's going to be the one to watch this round. Of course, it always is every year. And I'm going to put it with North Dakota State. I don't know. What are you thinking, Ryan?
Yeah, New Mexico is very impressive over their throttling of their rival across state in New Mexico State. Certainly, it remains to be seen whether they'll have the same zeal and the firepower for number 1 seed Idaho. But I certainly wouldn't be taking them lightly if I was one of the Vandals from Idaho. Arkansas, Arizona, the matchup I didn't see. I had Arizona State and Mississippi here, but both of these are really big schools, powerhouses. Could be quite the fun matchup there. And these other 2 are rematches from last year. Central Michigan, Youngstown State. We got Spencer Long and then Mark McDonough and the boys of Youngstown, who I believe also are playing in trying to get into real March Madness. They have their semifinal game tonight, so good luck to them in that. Hopefully that'll all get them fired up to beat the Chips from Central Michigan tomorrow. North Dakota State. Anything can happen when you bring rivals together. It's just North Dakota has owned this rivalry in this tournament, and I'm not sure I see it changing here. Cody, what do you see here from seeing this for the first time?
Well, yeah, I am surprised to see Idaho as a 1 because I don't believe they were in this tournament when I worked at Evanston Alpha. So I'm going to roll with them because it looks like they're, kind of the new dogs on the block, it feels like.
They had a really good year last year, yep.
And then Arkansas and Arizona, I'll take Arkansas because I wrote the story that was on the cover of the Record. Then North Dakota State because of our good friend Gage Wolt. And I think there's some collusion with Evanston Alpha and Central Michigan from Spencer. So I'm going to take Youngstown State. So sorry, Spencer.
All right, well let's take it to Cockerell. And Cody, be thinking I'm going to ask you for who your pick to win it all is here at the end. So
okay,
your Final Four and your pick to win it all. So Cockerell, we got Indiana and Cincinnati 1-8, and I mean, if I was Indiana, I'd be a little worried. Cincinnati is not a traditional 8 seed at all, much like Kansas. Cincinnati is actually one of the highest giving universities to SAE all time. I believe they might be number 1. Don't fact check me on that, but I believe they're number 1. So I mean, Indiana's got to bring their A game for this. This is not the traditional 1-8. So I mean, look at real March Madness. These matchups get tougher every year. The 8-9 always gives a scare to the 1 seeds, and I think the last few years an 8 or 9's always won too. One of them at least. So is that going to carry over here? I mean, this team's got a chance for sure. This is their first time with a captain, and we know they have the firepower. So interested to see what we have there. Towson and Kentucky. I mean, I'd love Indiana versus Kentucky just for the blue blood, matchup in the Sweet 16. But Kentucky didn't show me too much in the first round, and the last few years they've just seemed like they've had a lot of other things going on. And some might say that they think of themselves as a football school now, anyways. So who knows? Who knows if they care about this? I'm going to go with Towson. I'm going to go with Towson there, but Towson's been strong the last couple of years. But of course, Kentucky could easily prove me wrong and put up, a big win. Mississippi State and ETSU. ETSU just continues surprising in this tournament. I think the last few years if they haven't advanced out of the first round, they've always put up a close match. So nice to see them here as the 14 seed. Mississippi State sneaked by Tennessee in the first round, and they're still a sleeper. And I think they kind of were holding back a little bit that round, and be interesting to see what we get here. ETSU, we know they're going to put up a fight every single time. So, and my personal, I'm going to have a bold take here, and I'm going to say the wild card winner of the second round comes from this Georgia and Southern Mississippi matchup. Georgia was thoroughly impressive in their demolishing of LSU in the first round, and they've already been reaching out asking me about tomorrow's match. Very, very strong performance and bold take. I don't know who's going to win this one, but I'm saying that the wild card for the second round is going to come from that match. So, Juan, Cody, thoughts?
I like your point about Cincinnati. They are not going to be an easy out, but from experience and history, I'll roll with Indiana. Then I'm looking at Mississippi State and East Tennessee State, and according to the bracket, looks like East Tennessee State beat Winthrop as a 14 seed. I'm riding East Tennessee State all the way, especially since they beat Winthrop. Everyone knows how I don't like Winthrop. And then Towson and Kentucky. Towson, like Youngstown State, they have a game tonight. I think, if they can upset Charleston in basketball, they'll just come out firing in this matchup as well against Kentucky. So give me Towson. And then Georgia, Southern Mississippi. I agree, Ryan is kind of a wild card, but give me the Bulldogs. Let's just keep the upsets going.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised by you, Cody. I mean, I always thought Winthrop treated treated you with such kindness and respect, never really said anything mean. So, I mean, for you to pick their
I haven't
East
forgot.
Tennessee State rivals.
They were in my DMs. They were in my DMs yelling at me every time.
For a second, Cody, I thought you were going to Lee Corso us and pull out a Georgia Bulldog head. When you said, "Give me them Bulldogs."
If only I had one laying around here at home. But if I had one, I feel like that would have been a great moment.
If you had one, it wouldn't still be there. I've been to your house too many times for that thing to survive.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And I think I'm siding with you, Ryan. I think it's going to come down to Indiana versus Towson, and then Mississippi State versus Georgia. I'm putting my money on Georgia on this round. I think that they got what it takes to move on. So I think Southern Miss might actually become our wild card of the next or of the round 32, I guess. So could be interesting.
Very interesting. Let's Juan, take us to our final region and last four matches.
Wait, why? You're gonna do that? Like, really? Like the one that has the wild card in it, you're gonna have the guy who can barely explain his way through a regular March to the Madness tournament explain. Yeah, but like now we have the graphic up. Like, all right, so like, I'm sorry for this. Anyways, Nebraska is now going to be going up against Ohio State due to some wild card shifting. Of course, the wild card going to Arizona State, number 5, who's going to be going up against Michigan State. Ryan can probably explain to us best why that goes into those categories, because I'm not really sure. But anyways, back to our normal programming. Alabama and Maryland both advancing. Maryland surprised me here. I didn't think that they had what it took to move on, but I'm still going to go with Alabama for that matchup. And then, of course, Indiana State moving on against Northern Illinois. I think this is our battle of the ESR versus the ESA that everyone's going to be really looking forward to. So I think we got some great matchups in this.
It's another rematch from last year as well.
Yep. So
I believe Northern Illinois pulled it out last year. So maybe Indiana State and the trees maybe have a little revenge on their mind here. Apparently, no one is giving any respect to Northern Illinois based off some text messages I received in the last week. I won't say who, but
I just don't understand how like the NFL can just be like, you know, in 1923 on the third Sunday of like whatever, like October, they matched up against in the freezing rain and all this stuff. And we're like, wait, who won last year? We have no idea. We need to keep better records here, Ryan.
Northern Illinois won last year.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Are you willing to stake the reputation of March to the Madness on that claim?
Yeah. I've had worse claims.
Fair enough.
Ohio State squeaked by Michigan. Not much going on in that matchup. So they flipped over to face the 1 seed Nebraska. Nebraska still looks as dedicated as ever this year. They want to get to that Final Four. I don't see them having any issues with Ohio State. Alabama Maryland should be a great matchup. It potentially could be a wild card matchup, but I'm still sticking with Georgia Southern Miss. Maryland and Alabama have both made runs. Maryland not as much last year. Alabama last year for the first time. So it depends what Maryland we get. But I think that's going to be a great matchup. Indiana State, Northern Illinois, not much needs to be said on that, except apparently we better give some respect to Northern Illinois. So I'll pick Northern Illinois to win again this year. But I feel like I should have just stuck with not. No, I can't switch. I picked Indiana State originally. Indiana State's getting revenge here. So, sorry, Northern Illinois. I think it'll be a great matchup, though. Arizona State, Michigan State. Michigan State, they just didn't show me much in that first round over Purdue. I may have gotten ahead of myself with picking them for another impressive performance this year. I think Arizona State may get them. So that's my thoughts on it. Cody?
Okay, well, like Idaho, I don't remember seeing Nebraska doing too much when I was working at Evanston Alpha. So maybe they're similar to Idaho, coming out hot, trying to make a presence known in this tournament. So give me Nebraska over Ohio State, Alabama, Maryland. This is going to be a tight one. We got a 4-5 matchup here. These are always tight. I'll roll with the Big Ten. Give me Maryland and Indiana State, Northern Illinois. Indiana State is 2-0 in their last 2 overs, so give me the trees, and then Arizona State, Michigan State. Again, give me the Big Ten. Give me the Spartans. That's where I'm at.
All right, Cody. Well, I warned you a little bit, like maybe 5 minutes ago. What's your Final Four and championship pick?
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be chalk with Oklahoma and Indiana. I think that they're going to get to the Final Four. They do it every year. So that's in the top, in the Devote and the Cockrell. Give me those two. And Kerr and Foster. And Kerr, let's go with It's tough. Give me Arkansas just because I like that chapter. Those guys are nice to me. And then in Foster, let's go with this is tough. Let's go Indiana State just because I said a lot of nice things about them already. And then I think it could just come down to Indiana and Oklahoma again. And did Indiana win last year?
Nope.
It was Oklahoma who won last year?
They didn't play each other last year. Oh, yeah, they did. Oklahoma won because they lost the year prior.
All right. I hate to say it, but give me the Hoosiers to win it all. As someone who does not like Indiana, I will give me the Hoosiers. Big of me.
You're saying if they somehow get past Cincinnati, that they're your pick.
Yeah. Give me the Hoosiers to win it all.
Ryan, I think you misspoke. I think you're trying to say if they make it past Penn State, then we'll actually see. But it's fine. It's all right.
Well, yes, if they did make it past Penn State, they would be the champion. That would be for sure. Because they wouldn't meet till the championship.
If this all actually happens, I would like credit and lots of nice things said about me on the final show. Thank you.
I already lost one of my Final Four picks, so I got cute.
That happens. Done it
And
plenty of times.
I know you're never. They always tell you don't get cute when you come pick your brackets. And what did I do?
Yeah.
I got cute live.
Oh well. Best of luck the rest of the way, fellas.
Cody, appreciate you joining us. Always nice to have a fellow celebrity on the air.
Wait, hold on. You got to help me with my bingo. All right, hold on. So, did a team that has a mascot that's a cat beat a team that has a mascot that's a bird?
I can't tell you. I really
don't know, Juan. That's a lot. That's a lot to look through on air right now.
Is a sun devil a bird?
No,
I didn't think so.
What?
Wait, who beat Winthrop? Is
East Tennessee State.
What's East Tennessee State's mascot?
I don't know.
Buccaneers.
That's
all right.
Mascot.
All right. Well,
no bingos yet.
Juan, you want to tell the people what time everything goes on tomorrow?
Yep. So starting tomorrow, matchups begin 9 a.m. with not voting, I guess, donations closing at 9 p.m. Central, all around Central Time. So be sure to keep a lookout. Reminders go out right when the tournament begins, and you'll be getting reminders all day long to, cast your donations, raise some money for your team. And of course, like always, everything goes to a great cause, supporting the annual loyalty fund of the SAE Foundation, assisting us in scholarships, maintenance of the temple, and anything else that SAE as a whole needs. So,
yep, 9 to 9 tomorrow, every Tuesday for the rest of the tournament. That'll be the thing, as well as the Ryan and Juan Monday show. We'll be with you every Monday around the same time.
We're so going to get
Due
canceled.
to technical difficulties, it may not always be the exact same time, but it'll be around the same time.
I have faith that you guys will start on time.
And don't forget, there's still a wild card in this round as well. If you raise $1,000, though, you are safe from elimination. I feel like I'm on one of those game shows. You too can be safe from elimination.
You too
Tonight.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks.
Things never
wait,
change
hold on.
here. I
That's
like
another thing. Oh, I almost got bingo. All right. Ryan, you alluded to your love of reality TV, so got one more thing.
Can't help it sometimes. All right. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week. Good luck tomorrow, and thanks as always.